What the haters talking about?
What's up, family? George Foreman is being sued by two women for upwards of $50 million, claiming that he groomed and sexually assaulted them as a young boxer in the 1970s. The 73-year-old former heavyweight champion, who denies the allegations, was introduced to the pair named only as Gwen H. and Denise S. by their fathers, who worked closely with George Foreman at the time. Two separate lawsuits claiming compensation for physical and mental pain and suffering were filed at Los Angeles County Superior Court Wednesday, alleging that George first met the girls when they were under the age of 10. He had sex with them when they were 15, and he was already a boxing champion, the plaintiffs claim. The filings allege George, estimated to be worth around $300 million, sexually abused Denise S. when she was 13 years old, before having sex with her 2 years later. Nevada resident Gwen H. said that George threatened to fire her father, a longtime advisor to the boxer, if she did not submit to his will. She said the abuse continued until she was 16. In a statement released last month in anticipation of the lawsuit, George Foreman said that the women have been trying to extort millions of dollars from him and his family. TMZ Sports reported back in August that each woman wanted $12.5 million at the time. So I guess they said, yeah, you don't want to give us that 12.5? Well, now it's going to cost you more. What do y'all think, fam? Y'all believe that? Do y'all believe that he did it? And do you believe they have a case? More importantly, I guess, well, now, if he did it, that's more important. But do they have a case? Do they have a case? Now, here's the deal, fam. I know y'all going crazy in the comments. I know y'all, 50 years, goddamn, that's almost 50 years ago. Almost 50 years ago, this allegedly happened. So why didn't they say something then? Obviously, if it happened for real, the best thing would have been to try to, bring it to the attention of the courts while there was still some evidence, right? We're at a point now, just like in the Bill Cosby case, you don't need any evidence. It's just, you just point the finger and say, this person did this to me 40 years ago. And if that person is wealthy, then you kind of just sit back and wait on a settlement. And then you count your money. That's pretty much how it goes. And there's a law in California that opened the door for that one of them women, Huth is her name, Huth, to sue Bill Cosby. Yeah, they actually made a law specifically where you can go and get these, bring these antiquated charges against people. It don't matter how long ago it was. You can go back and say, yo, this person did this to me 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. Now, here's the thing, fam. Yeah, perhaps it would have been better if they had came forward back then. But it was a different time back then. Who would have believed them? Well, one could say, well, who wouldn't believe them now? But it was a different time, and people were afraid to challenge people who had money and power. Perhaps they feared for their lives. If it did happen, I'm not saying it happened, but if it did, that's the problem with bringing charges against people and not knowing for real if it's real or not. Even if it's not, you got people saying, well, if he did do it. I mean, if he didn't do it, it's messed up. It's just messed up, fam. You see what I'm saying? It's messed up that thought is even in somebody's head that we don't, damn, they be looking at him like, damn, did he do it? Do I believe him? Do I not? And you can't get rid of those accusations. Once you make that type of charge against somebody, you can't get rid of it. And you can't get it out of your head. Even if that person is exonerated, you can't get out of your head that they actually did it. The people who believe that he did it or want to believe he did it, are they going to run with it? The people that don't want to believe he did it are going to run with that. And then there's some people going to be indifferent. They're going to be like, man, shit, I don't know. That's where I'm at. Shit, I don't know. I don't know. Now, for those of you out there saying, why are you bringing these charges all these years later? Well, we was trying to get old girl that had Emmett Till set up 50 years later. I just believe that justice denied is one of the greatest atrocities ever. Justice denied. Think about if it was you. If it happened to you, is that an expiration for you? Do you say, well, that was 50 years ago, I just gotta let that go? If somebody did you wrong, I'm talking about like really harmed you in a way, like where they took something, rape or something like that. I mean, some people, you loaned them $2 back in the Gap, 40 years ago, you still mad about that. That fool ain't paid you back yet. And look at reparations, I don't know anybody, well, I guess I do know a few people, but not in my circle, that are saying, let bygones be bygones, stop talking about slavery, stop talking about reparations. That happened 100-some years ago. Nah, motherfucker, y'all still eating off that. Y'all eating off that slave labor, And it's not just about eating off of it monetarily, it's this whole system that they created for themselves, All of this has to do with slavery, the way the police operate. All of that has to do with slavery. So, that's why reparations is important. Can't dig up any of these old slave masters or whatever and kill them. Can't do nothing about that. But you can hold America accountable because America co-signed and sponsored slavery. So, yeah, we ain't letting that slide. But what say you, fam? And do y'all think she have a case? Do you believe that George did it? You think he didn't do it? And do you believe that these two women are going to be successful in their case against George Foreman? Drop a comment, fam. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.
What the haters talking about?